Hey everyone, it's Troy Harper here at Harper Cigar Lounge. I'm so glad to be back with you again today, and I'm so excited that you're here as well. I've got a great show planned for you guys today. I think you're going to really have a good time today. And I just noticed, what is this? I don't know what the hell's going on here. Is my basement haunted? Am I seeing things? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully that'll go away. If not, I guess we'll let them keep smoking a cigar and hang out with us, I guess. So anyway, you guys, I hope you're having a great night. Hope you've had a great week so far. And thanks again for being here. I've got some great content today. Birthday shout outs, latest updates in the music world out there. I got a rundown of some other things that I'm going to go over with you. I think you guys will have a great time today. I really do. But anyway, today I am smoking this GURKHA Pure Evil. And hopefully you guys can see that okay. Beautiful band on this and very evil looking. Just in time for Halloween, I guess. But anyway, so this is the GURKHA Pure Evil. It's a 5x52 Robusto. Shape, like I said, Robusto 5x52. Strength is medium to full. Wrapper, Nicaraguan Habano, Colorado shade. Binder, Nicaragua. Filler, Nicaragua. And it is a hand-rolled long filler cigar, premium cigar. For all you new cigar smokers, I don't smoke the cheap stuff. The blender is GURKHA, manufacturer American Caribbean cigars, and the country of origin is Nicaragua. So anyway, get it all at all angles here. But anyway, I hope you guys have something today that you can smoke with me. Hope you have a good drink with you today. I'll show you what I'm drinking today. I'm drinking this Old Smoky Moonshine Mountain Java, and I'm mixing it. I've mixed it with Squirrel Peanut Butter Whiskey. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. But I hope you guys have a good drink today. I hope you have something enjoyable. Hope you got some great hard rock, heavy metal music in the background, maybe. Anyway, let's get started on this cigar. I'm going to use my Zyphe V-Cut lighter combo with the cigar rest on the back, which I'm not going to use tonight. But anyway, so there's that. If you guys are interested in one of these, they're on Amazon for about $40–45. So great, sturdy cigar cutter and cigar lighter. This is a gunmetal color to it. They got them, I think, in black and silver as well, I believe. So, but anyway, let me get my cap moistened here. Get a good taste for the wrapper. Give it a good smell or a good whiff. Got a little bit of a barnyard hay, grassy kind of smell to it. Smells very fresh, very good smell to it. Anyway, how are you doing back there? Anyway, I don't know. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing here or not? Okay, let me get this thing cut. And like I said, I'm using a V-cut today on this. So there we go. Okay, got my cap in the ashtray. Anyway, so there's what it looks like after I've cut it. I'm going to go ahead and do a cold draw. Oh. The cold draw has kind of a creamy chocolate, like a milk chocolate. Maybe some vanilla in the cold draw. Very good. Hold on a second, guys. I forgot to do something here. Okay. Anyway, so let me get this lit, and we'll get going on this cigar. and we'll see how it is here. I'll read off the taste notes that I got off the internet here in a moment, but I'll see if I get the same thing. But I like to rotate my cigar, as you can see. Rotate my lighter. I like to get all the edges lit first, and then I work my way to the middle. I really like the whole routine and of cutting and lighting my cigar and doing it properly so I get the best experience I can with every time I get to smoke a cigar. I love the whole ritual of it, I really do. And I'm just trying to get it all toasted on the end. I don't want to scorch it. I just want to get the tobacco toasted a little bit. And when I blow on it and it all glows orange all the way through, I pretty much know it's ready. I don't know if you can, well. So anyway, it looks like I got it lit pretty well. I'm gonna give it one more light. When I give it the final light, I rotate my cigar around as I light it as well. Get it all evenly burned. Getting a lot of great smoke in the air. A lot of aroma. Getting kind of a woodsy, cedar kind of an aroma in the air. Right off the bat, I'm getting some kind of cedar, a little bit of pepper on the taste notes here. What I read on the internet is pepper, roasted notes of oak, earth, and sweet cedar, and I think that was supposed to say roasted nuts. I don't know, maybe I wrote that wrong, but pepper, roasted nuts, oak, earth, and sweet cedar, or is either roasted notes or roasted nuts. I can't remember. I hope I wrote that down right. But aromas are supposed to be kind of a floral aroma. These cigars were started 15 years ago. And a box of 20 will run you $179 for 20, like I said. And I think I paid about $8.99 for this. So anyway, but tasting good. Tasting pretty good. Still getting some pepper and some cedar is what I'm kind of getting out of this. But tasting pretty good so far. Yeah, hopefully this will be a great cigar today. Hopefully it'll be burning evenly all the way through. Hopefully I won't have to do any relights or anything like that. So I've been struggling today with a little bit of a cough and getting some sniffles a little bit. I think it could be allergies, I don't know. I've had people that are sick around me at work and everything, but hopefully it's just allergies. But anyway, I'm feeling good though. I really am feeling good. Feeling even better since I'm back down here with you guys tonight. So anyway, gonna go ahead and go on with some birthdays here. Some singers from the hard rock heavy metal scene. Joey Belladonna, he had his birthday on October 13th. He was born in 1960 in Oswego, New York. And so he is 63 years of age now. Joey Belladonna is, you know, the lead singer of Anthrax. Just to do a little bit of some rundowns of some of the albums that Anthrax has that Joey Belladonna is a part of. Armed and Dangerous from February 1985. Among the Living, March 22nd of 87 was released. I'm sorry, let me back up. Armed and Dangerous, first album that Joey Belladonna was on, was released February 1985. Spreading the Disease, October 1985, it was released. Among the Living, released on March 22nd, 1987. State of Euphoria, September 18th, 1988, it was released. Persistence of Time, released on August 21st, 1990. Worship Music, September 12th, 2011, it was released. And For All Kings, February 26th, 2016, that was released. And Joey Belladonna did release a statement I talked about in the last podcast that he is going to start writing for a new album. So that's exciting news. Just real quick, some of the singles that some of the huge singles that Anthrax has had. Metal Thrashing Mad, Madhouse, Among the Living, Caught in the Mosh, I Am the Law, Indians, Be All End All, Antisocial, Keeping It in the Family, Belly of the Beast, The Devil You Know, You Gotta Believe, Evil Twin. So they got a lot of hits, a lot of singles out there. So, and those singles I read off go back to the Armed and Dangerous album up through the For All Kings album, which was in 2016. So Armed and Dangerous came out in 1985. So between 85 and 2016, quite a few singles. And I only read off part of them. I read off the most important ones. So anyway, but I know there's others out there. So anyway, so happy belated birthday, Joey Belladonna. Anyway, I got to see Anthrax open up for Kiss. And that was back in 1988, and I'll get into a little more of that here in a little bit, but great show that Anthrax put on back in 88. I'm hoping to catch them again, but they opened up for Kiss on the Crazy Nights tour. So great show they put on. It was an outstanding show. So anyway, I hope to catch them again eventually. But anyway, again, happy belated birthday, Joey. Hope it was a great one for you. Next one we got on my list here is Jeff Keith, lead singer of Tesla. And of course, Tesla is considered hard rock, glam rock, where Anthrax, that I just talked about, is considered thrash metal. So, but anyway, Jeff Keith, he was born on October 12, 1958 in Texarkana, Arkansas. And he is 65 years of age now. And born on October 12, 1958, if I missed that somehow. Anyway, but some of the albums that Jeff Keith is involved with Tesla is Mechanical Resonance, which was brought out December 8th of 1986. Got to see them twice on that tour, opening up for Def Leppard on the Hysteria tour. And they just put on a great show both times. I saw them in Denver, Colorado, and Casper, Wyoming in '86, and I just couldn't get over how great they were at the time. Anyway, The Great Radio Controversy, that was released on February 1st, 1989. Psychotic Sepper, released September 10th, 1991. Bust a Nut, released August 23rd, 1994. Into the Now, March 9th, 2006, that was released. Reel to Reel, which is a covers album of all the bands they look up to. That was released June 5th, 2007. And then Reel to Reel, Volume 2, that was released September 25th of 2007. And that, again, that was another covers album. And then, of course, to go backwards for a moment, they did the 5-Man Acoustical Jam live album. That was in 1990. Which was after the Great Radio Controversy and right before the Psychotic Sepper album came out. And they did some of their own songs, and then they did some cover songs. But the biggest song they brought out off that album was Signs. So that was a big song they brought out. I can't remember who sang Signs. You guys will have to send me a message who sang that song originally. But 5-Man Acoustical Jam, great live album if you can get a hold of that. And then Forevermore came out October 7th, 2008. Twisted Wires and the Acoustic Sessions, July 12, 2011. And I know they brought out another acoustic album. It was supposed to be the second part of 5-Man Acoustical Jam, and that, I can't remember what year that came out. I meant to look that up and put that down, but I know they did it in London. I think it was called 5-Man London Jam, or 5-Man Acoustical London Jam, or something like that. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to leave that in the comments, what that album was and when it came out. And then, let's see here. Twisted Wire. Let's see. I already read that one. Well, I'll read it one more time in case I didn't finish what I was saying. Twisted Wires and the Acoustic Sessions, July 12th, 2011. Simplicity, June 6, 2014 was released. And then Shock was released on March 8th, 2019. Most of their first 4 albums were on Geffen Records. And then they went on to Noise Sanctuary, and then went on to Electric Company Records, and then they went to Frontiers, and then UME Records. So, anyway, and I didn't mention on the Anthrax albums, they started off in Megaforce and then went on to Island Records, and then went back to Megaforce Nuclear Blast. So for their last couple albums. So a little bit of information in case you're interested. But anyway, so Tesla had a lot of good hits too. They had Getting Better, Modern Day Cowboy, Little Susie from their first album, Mechanical Resonance. And then on The Great Radio Controversy, they had Heaven's Trail, No Way Out, Love Song, The Way It Is, Psychotic Supper, Edison's Medicine, Song and Emotion, What You Give. And then let's see here, on Bust a Nut, Mama's Fool and Games People Play were the 2 hits off of that album. So anyway, then happy belated birthday to you, Jeff, and I hope you had a great birthday as well. Hope my cigar's not burning out on me already. I know I've been talking a lot. I'll give it a little bit of a relight, just in case it wants to. Anyway, get this taken care of, and then we'll go on to the last birthday shout out. Okay. Last birthday shout out is Sammy Hagar. He was born on October 13th, and he was born in 1947, so he's 76 years of age now. And Sammy Hagar was born in Salinas, California. Let's see here. Of course, he's been involved with quite a few projects. He was the lead singer for Montrose. Then he had his solo career for a long time. Then he was with Van Halen. And then he's been with Chickenfoot. And also Sammy Hagar and the Circle. And of course, he's considered hard rock, heavy metal. But anyway, so first band he was with was Montrose, and that was around from 73 to 74, or yeah, he was involved with them. Their first album was called Montrose, self-titled, and some of the singles off of that was Bad Motor Scooter and Rock Candy, if you remember those. And that came out in 73. Paper Money, 1974 was released, and the big hit off of that was I Got the Fire. And then his solo career is from 76 to 2022, 76 to 2022. I didn't bother mentioning every single album he's got for his solo career, and he's got so many albums and singles. But so I went through and picked out the 5 most important singles and solo albums he did here. So the first album that really stood out to me was Standing Hampton. That was in 82. And the hits on that was There's Only One Way to Rock and Babies on Fire. And then Three Lock Box in 1982. And of course, the singles on that was Three Lock Box, Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy. And then VOA 1984. And of course, the big hit off of that was I Can't Drive 55 and self-titled song VOA. And then the last album I put down for his solo career was I Never Say Goodbye from 1987. And the two big hits on that was Give to Live and Eagles Fly. So all those were great songs. All those were great songs. And then he was with Van Halen from 1986 to 1995. But if I didn't make it clear, Sammy's solo career was from 1976 to 2022. So after Van Halen, he did go back and do some more solo albums. But when he was with Van Halen, he was with them from 1986 to 1995. First album he did with them was 5150 from 1986, and the biggest songs off of that album was Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, Summer Nights, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In, and Get Up. And the next one is OU 812 from 1988. And the biggest hits on that was Mine All Mine, When Is Love, Black and Blue, Finish What You Started, were the big hits on that. And then the next album they did was For Unlawful Carnage. For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge in 1991. Big hits on that was Pancake, Judgment Day, Run Around, Right Now, Top of the World. So great songs, definitely. And then the last album he did with Van Halen is called Balance in 1995. That was released. Big hits was Can't Stop Loving You, Don't Tell Me What Love Is, or let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. And then Amsterdam was the next song off of that. The aromas are still great in the air. Not really getting any floral aromas, but I'm definitely getting kind of a sweet coffee or kind of a roasted coffee kind of a smell, like you'd get if you were to walk into a coffee shop. But just a hint, not a real strong aroma, but just a hint. And still getting some of the oak and cedar kind of smells as well. For taste notes, it's not as peppery as it was in the beginning. Maybe getting some nuts and let's see here. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what the taste notes were again. Pepper, roasted nuts, oak, earth, and sweet cedar. I'd have to agree there's some earthiness to the cigar, definitely. But yeah, definitely getting like some oak. And I'm kind of maybe getting some vanilla. A little bit of vanilla maybe in this cigar as well, to me. And maybe that's what they're referring to with the sweet cedar. I don't know, but it's kind of a sweet vanilla kind of a taste to the cigar to me. And of course, everyone's palates are different. So what someone else tastes might be different than what I taste. But I do like to read the taste notes that I get off the internet of certain cigars I'm going to try and smoke and review for you guys, because I want to see if what I get compares at all to any of what they're doing. So, but anyway, so I don't know if what I'm tasting is really matching up with what they're talking about, really. Definitely had the pepper in the beginning, and I'm getting the oak and cedar. But the sweetness, it's just kind of to me, it's kind of a little bit of a sweet vanilla kind of a taste to it. But anyway, it's tasting very good though. Very good cigar. It really is. I hope the lighting's okay in this video today. I'm doing a little bit of some different lighting today to see how it looks. So anyway, hopefully my lighting looks okay today. It does seem to be a little bright, but hopefully it's okay for you guys. So anyway, moving on. Let's get into some heavy metal news. So anyway, I hope all you Priest fans are pretty happy right now, like I am. They got the new single out called Panic Attack, which you can catch the lyric video on YouTube. So pretty good sounding song. Love it so far. And their new album's expected to be out in March 8th of 2024. And that's called Panic Attack, is the name of their new album. I'm sorry, I got this backwards. The album's called Invincible Shield, and the single's called Panic Attack. I apologize. So anyway, but it's a great song. I've got it downloaded on my phone already, and I'm very excited to get that album when it comes out. If you go to JudasPriest.com, you can pre-order the new album right now. So there's two different albums. There's the album with two different cover versions. There's an alternate version of the cover, and then the regular cover, and then they've got the CD and cassette. You can pre-order either one of those as well. And then they've also got the album with the alternate version, cover version, with a 7-inch vinyl with 3 extra bonus songs. So you guys might be interested in that maybe. I know that one I'm interested in definitely, but the picture disc, there's a picture disc also, and the picture disc is $45.98. Both albums, whether you get the regular version or the alternate version, they're both $44.98. The CD is $13.98. The cassette is $18.98. And the album with the alternate cover plus the 7-inch vinyl with the 3 bonus songs, that one's $49.88. So anyway, you guys check out JudasPriest.com if you're interested in pre-ordering any of that. I know I'll get my pre-order in probably here pretty soon. So very excited for that. Just when I thought they were done on the last album and tour, they're back again. It just amazes me how these guys are still going the way they are. I really thought the last tour would have been it, but they surprised us once again with another new album coming out. And I'm sure there's going to be a huge tour with it, and I'm excited to see who they're going to have tour with them. So I've seen them with Saxon, I've seen them with Queensryche. And so I can't wait to see who they're going to be with this next time. So really excited. Anyway, so and then in more news, Ozzy Osbourne is discussing a new album already. He wants to start writing in 2024. Discussing plans for a new album, definitely. And he said he's going to have only one guest on this album compared to a bunch of guests like he did on the previous album, which was Patient Number 9. So anyway, so he wants to start writing in 2024, and of course his health pending on that, how much he writes and stuff in 2024. But that is the goal, that he'll write in 2024, and probably have that out sometime in early 2025, I'm guessing. This came from an interview with Brent Porch of 93.3 WMMR in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that's exciting news. I hope Ozzy, I hope you can stay healthy and hang in there and stay strong and get another album out for us that love you. Even though you don't maybe tour it, it'd just be great to have another album from you, definitely. So Ozzy, hang in there, keep getting better and healing, and hopefully we will get to have that from you in a couple of years here. So anyway, next is Zach Sabbath, the band Zach Sabbath, which is Zakk Wylde's side band that he has. He is oh gosh, what was I going to say? well, shoot, I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyway, but Zach Sabbath, they're going to bring out a single, and it's Fairies Wear Boots is the single, and it's on a green 7-inch vinyl. You can pre-order that on the Zach Sabbath website. But anyway, they are looking for that to be released on December 5th of this year. So anyway, go to ZachSabbath.com and pre-order that if you're interested. I really do like the Zach Sabbath stuff he's doing. It's great to hear that, since he was, of course, he's been close to Ozzy for so many years, and his guitarist, and so it's great to see that he's doing the Black Sabbath stuff, and he's got a great band behind him. He's got 2 great guys with him, and so they sound great. They really do. So that's pretty cool. I've been listening to more of the Zach Sabbath stuff just because I miss Black Sabbath. But if you want to go see some live stuff that has anything to do with Black Sabbath, of course, this is the best you can go see, I believe. Still getting about the same taste notes. Nothing's really changed much on this cigar right now. But it is tasting really good. Getting still a lot of great smoke. Getting some great ash, and it's burning fairly evenly. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not a razor burn kind of even, but it's staying pretty straight over all the burn line. So not too bad. Anyway, let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, and then Dee Snider, from the former frontman of Twisted Sister, says he's gonna be done. He's gonna be done making solo albums for now. He wants to maybe look into getting into producing. But I don't know. Gosh, it'd sure be great to see another Twisted Sister reunion, I think. So we'll see what happens in the future. But for some of you guys that don't know some of the solo albums that Dee Snider did, let's see here. He had We Are the Ones in 2016, and then he had Love. Let's see, For the Love of Metal, live 2000. I'm sorry, For the Love of Metal in 2020. For the Love of Metal live in 2021. And then the last album he did was Leave a Scar in 2021. Twisted Sister, just for some history, they started in 1972. And they started in, let's see here, Hohokus, New Jersey in 1972. And then later moved over and changed their residency to Long Island, New York. Anyway, Twisted Sister started in 72, like I said, and then they ended in 2006. Last album they did was A Twisted Christmas, and the last live album they did was Live at the Marquee in 2011. So, anyway, they're definitely missed in my book. I love Twisted Sister. I would love to see them do maybe one more reunion tour or something, and that'd be great. I really do. I miss this band a lot. Twisted, and Dee Snider, he's still got a great voice. He really does. He's never lost his voice at all. So we'll see what happens in the future, I guess. But all you Twisted Sister fans, maybe send Dee some messages and bug him a little bit to maybe start up another tour of Twisted Sister. And I'll consider doing the same as well. So whether I get a response back, I doubt it, but you never know, I guess. And then Mick Mars, of the ex-guitarist for Motley Crue, he'll have a single out. He'll have a single out in December. It's going to be his first single since he's been away from Motley Crue, and he will not announce the name of that song. He hasn't put out any information of what the song's about or anything. But it's supposed to premiere October 30th, actually, of this year. So he wants it out, in time for Halloween. So So October 30th is when he's looking at bringing that single out. Whether there will be an album or anything to follow it, I don't know. There's nothing saying that he is. So I don't know if he's just doing this single and that's it, or if he's going to continue to do anything else. I don't know. So I'm anxious to see what he does, I guess. But Mick Mars is definitely missed with Motley Crue. I love John 5, and I think he's a great fit for Motley Crue as well. But I do miss Mick Mars. But I understand his back situation is, has gotten the best of him over the years. So, I understand why he's not with them. And of course, there has been some, some fuse between him and the other guys, which I hate seeing. I hope they'll make amends eventually still. I'm really hoping for that. It'd be great to see all the guys back together, all the original guys back together. It'd really be great to see that. I doubt that's going to happen, though. I doubt they'll ever get back, but you just never know. You never know. You never know. So we'll see what happens, I guess, for the future of Motley Crue and Mick Mars. But again, like I said, there's no name to the single he's bringing out. He's not telling anybody what it's called or anything or what kind of song it is, but it will have a world premiere October 30th. So I'm guessing October 30th it'll be on YouTube. So anyway, I need to check to see if he's got a website actually that it might be on as well. So anyway, and then for all of you AC/DC fans, they played a Power Trip on October. October 7th. They were at Power Trip, and that was the first time they had played in 7 years. And a fan caught some really good film or some great footage of them, and so they got the whole concert out on YouTube that AC/DC did on October 7th. I guess it's really good. I guess the performance that this fan captured is very professional and very good. So I got to catch that myself and watch it. And then also I was going to tell you there's some great. I got to see there's some great footage of Judas Priest as well from the Power Trip Festival on YouTube. Didn't really see anything from Metallica too much, but Judas Priest and AC/DC definitely saw that they had some full shows on there and stuff. So, and I did put that up on my Harper Cigar Lounge group page, and so maybe the one I put up for AC/DC is the one they're talking about here, but I got one up from AC/DC and one from Judas Priest from the Power Trip Festival over in California. And let's see, and then let's see here. I think the last bit of news I've got is Exodus is going to enter in the studio on March of this year, or I'm sorry, March of next year, and they'll work on this new album and hope to have it out in September of 2024. So anyway, so that'd be great to see a new Exodus album as well. Huge fan of Exodus, and I love everything they've ever done. So really hoping to see that they will have another album out, like they say. So we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, not to tell you guys, cheers to you, and cheers. Thanks for being here today, guys. I really do appreciate it. This is really good. Squirrel peanut butter whiskey, and this stuff right here, Smoky Mountain, Old Smoky Moonshine. I'm sorry, and it's called Mountain Java. So that's that right there. So anyway, so I got those mixed together, and that tastes really good. Really tastes good, and having it with my cigar actually, it's really good. Really good. Yeah, it's really pairing well with the cigar. It really is. And I'm still getting some of the same taste notes that I mentioned. Nothing's really changed much on this. But really good cigar, guys. Really good cigar. So far, so good. I've had to relight it. I've had to relight it a couple times here, but now it's staying, and so we'll see what it does. But it's the construction's great. I was gonna tell you, it's got just a nice silky wrapper, and a little veiny, not much, not real veiny, but just yeah, it's got great construction, and it just feels really silky and dark and oily. So anyway, good cigar, guys. If you run into one of these Pure Evil cigars by Gurkha, I'll show you the band again. I think you guys will really like this cigar. I really do. So what I wanted to get into with you guys today, last week I had talked about, let's see here. Last week I discussed all the studio albums of Kiss, and I also showed a few of the live videos, or live, I'm sorry, not videos, but live albums. I showed the live albums during the era with all the original Kiss members, Paul, Gene, Peter, and Ace. And I told you guys in the next video I would do all the non-makeup era albums. So that's what I'm going to do today. I meant to show you guys this last time though, since I discussed all the original members. Wanted to show you guys this double platinum album that I've got autographed by all the original members. One of my favorite things that I own of theirs. So anyway, there's that. I wanted to show that to you. But anyway, so the first album that I wanted to show you guys, and I know last time I did all my favorites from the least favorite to the to my favorite, least favorite to favorite, and I thought maybe I wouldn't do that this time because I really love all of them equally. I really do. I can't think of an album that I really would have to say my favorite or my worst favorite with the non-makeup era, and I really love the non-makeup era. A lot of people don't, but I really do. I really love the non-makeup era. I thought their sound was great, and it was way different than what they did in the makeup era, definitely, but I really thought the non-makeup era was great. So it's hard for me to decide. I'm giving this just a little bit of a touch-up. I'm not having to relight it, but the burn line's just going off a little bit more, and I thought I would just go ahead and touch it up, get that evened up. But it's not taking away the enjoyment of my cigar, that's for sure. So that's all I'm doing is right now I'm just kind of going along and just trying to get the edge of the wrapper burnt evenly again. So I'm just kind of lighting the areas that are not burning down as much as the rest, but it's not really doing too bad. I just wanted to get that straightened out. So anyway, the first album that Kiss did was called Lick It Up, and that was released in 1983, September 22nd of 1983, on Mercury Records. And of course, the members of this album were Paul, Gene, Eric Carr, and Vinnie Vincent, and Rob Freeman, which he was one of my teachers back in the 90s when I went to school at the Career Institutes of America in Miami Beach, Florida. Rob Freeman was my teacher, my sound engineering teacher, and so he produced on this album Dance All Over Your Face, and On the Eighth Day, and let's see here, and let's see, Dance All Over Your Face and On the Eighth Day were the two songs that he produced. And then the other producer for this album was Michael James Jackson. So anyway, and the big singles off this album was Lick It Up, All Hell's Breaking Loose, Fits Like a Glove, Young and Wasted, and Exciter. Those were the big songs that came off of that album. And that's this album right here. Right there, Lick It Up. And there's the back. There's the song tracks right there. And this album, I just really love it. I can't say one bad thing about this album. I thought this was a great way to start off their non-makeup era, was with this album. And of course, they were on MTV right before this was released to reveal what they look like without makeup. So I watched that on MTV, and I was so excited to finally see what they look like without makeup and to see what their first song was going to be like. And boy, I tell you what, their first song, Lick It Up, and then All Hell's Breaking Loose was the second one they brought out. I thought those songs just kicked ass, and I just love this album. I really love this album. Gosh, it just really punched me in the gut when I first heard this. It was just such a strong album, I thought, and just such creative work they did. I really thought this was a great album, but it is a very underrated album. It's never talked about very much, but again, I just love this album. So Lick It Up, right there. The second album they brought out was Animalize, right there. And there's the back. And of course, this album did not have Vinnie Vincent. It had Mark St. John on it, and he's right there in the back. So right there is him. And of course, Mark St. John's not alive anymore, so rest in peace, Mark. And of course, Eric Carr is not alive anymore either. And so rest in peace, Eric, as well. But anyway, this is a great album. This was released September 17th, 1984. And this was released on Mercury Records. All the non-makeup era albums were pretty much released on Mercury Records. And of course, this was produced solely by Paul Stanley alone. And the big hits on this one was Heaven's on Fire and Thrills in the Night were the big songs on here. But I thought the first song off this, I've Had Nothing to the Fire, was such a great song. Burn Bitch Burn, another great song. Lonely as the Hunter. Gosh. Yeah, those songs right there were just great as well. I'm surprised they didn't bring those out as singles as well, but great songs on this album. Yeah, love this album. It's just a hard and raw, this album. It really is. I just love it. So anyway, Kiss Animalize, and that again was released September 17th of 1984. Yeah, just a great song. Great album. Great songs on that album. Next one is Kiss Asylum. And this is, if I would have to say an album that really reminded me of the old Kiss sound, I'd have to say Kiss Asylum is that album. I just thought this album really reminded me of a lot of the old Kiss sound. Maybe around the I don't know, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun era, around there, I would say this album kind of reminds me of that era a little bit. Just a lot of hits and just a lot of hooks, just a lot of great hooks on this album. And again, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Eric Carr, and then on this album was Bruce Kulick, right there. Bruce Kulick, this is the first studio album he was a part of. He actually was on the Kiss Animalize tour. Mark St. John had to leave because his hand, he got arthritis in his hand. His hand got all puffed up. He couldn't, play like he was supposed to, so he had to sit out, and Bruce Kulick came in to fill in, which Bob Kulick, which passed away a while back, was Bruce's older brother. And Bob recommended Bruce to him to play. Bob had helped on some of the studio albums back in the makeup days. On some of the solo album projects, Bob Kulick was a part of that. So of course Bob Kulick was, good friends with Kiss, and he recommended Bruce to fill in for Mark St. John. Well, so have it, Mark St. John just never did get better, and Bruce Kulick was doing really well, and they just really played well together, so they kept Bruce Kulick. So anyway, so there's that Kiss Asylum, that album was released on September 16, 1985, on Mercury Records, of course, and the producers were Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. And the singles on this album was Who Wants to Be Lonely, Tears Are Falling, All Night were the big songs on this album. I don't know, let's see. Some of the other songs I thought were great on this was Any Way You Slice It, Trial by Fire. Let's see here. Yeah, basically those other ones on top of the ones I mentioned I thought were great songs. So anyway, Kiss Asylum. Next one would be Crazy Nights. Oh, and I meant to show you guys this since I brought up the Lick It Up album. I wanted to show you this. I got this autographed album framed as well. So it's got Vinnie Vincent's autograph, Eric Carr's, Gene's, and Paul's autographs on that. Another prized possession of mine that I really love. So I meant to show that to you while I was discussing the Lick It Up album, but there's that. And then next album, and this album was really good too in its own way. And this is Kiss Crazy Nights. And this is the tour I got to see Anthrax open up for Kiss on. That date that I got to see him in Casper, Wyoming was March 20th of 1988. And I actually got to meet Eric Carr. And I know I've shown you guys this in my past podcasts, but I just wanted to show it to you again. But this is my ticket from the Kiss show in Casper, Wyoming. And there's Eric Carr's autograph. I got to spend almost a half hour with him, just talking with him. He had already had a lot of kids talking to him, but I kind of stood back. And of course, at the time, I was 17 years old. And I couldn't believe I was getting to see Kiss. And me and a couple of my buddies were hanging out in the Hilton Inn down the road from the Casper Event Center in Casper, Wyoming. And got to meet Gene Simmons briefly. And but Eric Carr is the one I really got to stand around and talk with. And I just had kind of waited for everyone to stop talking to him, and I thought I would just go ahead and have the balls to go up to him and ask him if I could have a few minutes with him myself. And he actually said, absolutely, and yes, and gave me about 25 or so minutes with him to talk with him. And I can't remember what we even talked about. I was just beside myself at the moment that I was getting to meet Eric Carr. He was definitely my favorite member of Kiss besides Peter Criss. So. But anyway, so Eric Carr, rest in peace. Love you, brother. Miss you so much. Eric's my Italian brother from another mother. Let's see here. So, get my notes back here. So anyway, Crazy Nights was released September 21st, 1987 on Mercury Records. Of course, Paul, Gene, Bruce, and Eric were the guys on that album, produced by Ron Nevison. And the big singles off of that album was Crazy Crazy Nights, Bang Bang You, Reason to Live, and Turn on the Night. Great songs, definitely great songs. And I will show you this as well. So I got this, I got a hold of this piece, the Crazy Nights album autographed by all the guys. And these are all authentic autographs. These 3 albums I'm showing you with the autographs, they're all actual autographs, all real autographs. And so got that off of a gentleman that I got to know at one time that was wanting to get rid of this. So got it for a very fair price and got it framed immediately. And so one of my other greatest prized possessions is that one there. So anyway, so I've pretty much got all the autographs from everybody in Kiss. I've even got Tommy Thayer's and Eric Singer's autograph as well on some other things, which I won't get into Tommy Thayer right now. that'll be for another show sometime here, maybe in a couple weeks. So anyway, but Eric Carr was just so nice. He was just such a great guy. I'll never forget how he looked that day when I met him. He had a three-piece suit on. He had a briefcase, and he had his hair back in a ponytail. Just looked very professional. And when I saw Gene Simmons, which everyone rushed him, and he really didn't talk to anybody. He was in a hurry to get to his room, I think. And but he just had nothing but black leather on, black leather pants, black leather shirt of some sort. He had sunglasses on, and he had this big, long black trench coat on. He looked pretty cool. But I'll never forget when people were trying to get autographs from Gene Simmons. He would just, all these kids were behind him, and he would just reach back, grab a piece of paper, sign it, hand it back, grab the next paper, sign it, hand it back. He didn't talk to anybody. He just did that. And so anyway, but Eric Carr, he was just so gracious and just so nice. I'll never forget him, how he treated his fans, how he loved his fans. And not to say Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley don't love their fans, but Eric Carr just really, from the beginning, appreciated being in Kiss. Of course, he was in a band that wasn't known at all. And so when he came to Kiss, he was unknown, you know, with the makeup. And he had the Fox makeup, of course. But no one knew who he was at all when he came into Kiss. And he just really appreciated his fans a lot. And I remember stories of when he was with Kiss on the Unmasked tour. And they were in Australia. He was up in his hotel on the balcony and saw all these people down on the grass below. And he would go down and talk to them, which no one knew who he was, but he would go down and talk to him and ask him what they thought of Kiss, and just would ask him questions about the band and stuff. And they had no idea they were talking to one of the band members. So, cheers again, guys. Yeah, if you guys can ever get a hold of Squirrel Whiskey, peanut butter whiskey, and Old Smoky moonshine with the Mountain Java flavor to it. Mix those together. That tastes really good. It tastes just like a Reese's almost. And I love peanut butter and chocolate. So, but that tastes really good together. If you guys are liking those two things together, make sure you grab some of that if you can find it. So anyway, yeah. So I loved the Crazy Nights album. I really did. I thought Crazy Nights and Reason to Live and Turn on the Night were just such great songs. The first song they brought out was Crazy Nights, and I thought it was a really good song. It really wasn't my favorite song on the album. When they brought out Turn on the Night and Reason to Live, those were the two songs that I just really absolutely adored. And after listening to this album more over the years, I thought this album really grew on me, and I thought it was a great album. I really did. But anyway, so again, Kiss Crazy Nights. And again, that was released in 1987, September 21st of 87. So Anthrax was touring on that, or Anthrax was touring with them at the time. They were supporting the Among the Living album. So that was a great show too before Kiss came out. Next album is Hot in the Shade. And that was released on October 17th of 1989. Again, Paul, Gene, Eric Carr, and Bruce Kulick on this album. And this album here, like I said, was released October 17th, 1989 on Mercury Records, along with the other ones, all on Mercury Records. And this was produced by Gene and Paul. And the singles on this was Rise to It, Hide Your Heart, and Forever. I thought Hide Your Heart was such a great song. And then Forever, of course, great song. And that was the first tour they actually did too, where they didn't have the big, huge Kiss logo behind them that they had all the other years. They had this behind them that would light up and stuff. The Sphinx is what they had behind them. So But anyway, so that was really different seeing their stage show like that. But it was a pretty elaborate stage show. I mean, they had a lot of songs they were singing during that tour too that they didn't sing normally, and so it was a great tour they did. And they were in Miami, Florida when I lived there, and I had a chance to work with them, but I had already agreed to help with the Social Distortion Gang Green show. And if I would have known that they still needed help for this show, at the time I would have never told the other crew that I would have worked with them. I would have done this show instead. And of course, Slaughter and Firehouse was opening up for him at the time, and those were just great bands. I still love those bands. So the fact that I didn't get to work with them and be around those guys makes me sick to this day still. But anyway, I'm just glad I got to meet Eric Carr and got to meet Gene Simmons briefly and been in his presence a little bit as well. So anyway, again, Hot in the Shade, definitely a great album as well. I meant to tell you guys that I thought, let's see here, besides Rise to It and Hide Your Heart and Forever, I thought Silver Spoon was a great song. Loves a Slap in the Face was a great song. Betrayed I thought was a great song. A lot of great songs on that album. And this one here, I meant to tell you guys, this is the 30th anniversary vinyl. And so this has blue vinyl. You can see that it's got blue vinyl. So anyway, so that's the 30th anniversary edition remaster. And all these albums are remasters. I do have some originals, but these are all the remasters. And then the next album that was released on May 19th, 92 on Mercury Records was Kiss Revenge. And this was probably the third real heavy album that they've done throughout their whole career. The first heavy album that I really thought was great was Hotter Than Hell, of course. And then they did Creatures of the Night. Creatures of the Night. I thought that was the next heaviest album they had done. And then, of course, Kiss Revenge. And there's the back of it. And right there, what Gene is wearing there, well, what all of them are really wearing, but that's kind of how Gene looked when I saw him during the Crazy Nights tour when he was in the Hilton Inn in Casper, Wyoming. That's what he was wearing, just pretty much close to that. But had his hair back in ponytail, but was wearing sunglasses as well. But black leather boots, black leather trench coat, black leather pants, the whole works. That's what that picture reminded me of when I saw him in Casper. So that's what it really reminded me of how he looked that day. So anyway, the way they all look in black leather, and I thought Eric Singer really stood out in this with this album, having the blonde hair. That's the first member Kiss ever had with blonde hair. They always all had black hair. So I thought that was really kind of different to have someone with blonde hair. But Eric Singer was before this album came out. Eric Singer was the drummer for Paul Stanley when he was doing a solo tour, and so that's how he ended up becoming involved in Kiss. But of course, Eric Carr had passed away, after the Hot in the Shade tour, so Eric Singer took his place, and I thought Eric Singer did a tremendous job with Kiss, of course, in the non-makeup era. But anyway, this album was released, was produced by Bob Ezrin, which Bob Ezrin did the Destroyer album of Kiss. And of course, he's worked with Alice Cooper and stuff too. So Bob Ezrin is very well known. And then Bob Ezrin also worked on the album called the one that I talked to you guys about last week, where it's all medieval kind of stuff. Why can't I think of that album now? One of my favorite albums, I can't even think of it. Hopefully I'll think of that album here in a minute. But anyway, The Elder, I'm sorry guys. The Elder. Great. I thought that was a great album that Bob Ezrin did. Kiss was very unhappy with it, and they were upset with Bob Ezrin for how that album turned out, but still one of my favorites, just because it's so different, I guess. But anyway, so singles on this album was Unholy, Take It Off, God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too, Domino, Every Time I Look at You, which was a great ballad from Paul Stanley, and I Just Wanna. Those were the songs off this album that were great. But anyway, I thought this whole album was really good. I really did. This has been a great cigar, other than the fact that it's having a hard time staying lit. It had a nice loose draw. When I did the cold draw, it had a nice loose draw. It doesn't feel like it's got a tight draw at all, but for some reason it's just not wanting to stay lit. And it could be, again, because I'm just not puffing on it enough to keep it going the way I need to. I had a great cigar down here last night, and I'll tell you the name of that here in a minute. But it had burned great all night. I never had to relight it or anything. It just stayed great. So I don't know what it is about some of the cigars that I got that I buy and try. I just think a lot of it's because I don't puff on it enough while I'm talking during these shows. There's a lot of it, I think. But because when I sit down here by myself and I'm just not doing these podcasts and I'm puffing on it regularly, my cigars stay lit very well. They don't burn out on me or have a hard time staying lit. So I just think it's because I go too long, maybe sometimes in between puffs. So, but anyway. For taste notes, I'm getting a little pepper again. Getting some nuts, kind of a nut taste. Definitely getting some of the cedar and stuff like that too. But anyway, good tasting cigar. I would really recommend this probably to an experienced smoker. It has kind of went back and forth between medium and full strength. So a beginner probably could smoke this as long as they didn't smoke it too fast. But I'd probably say it's probably more for an experienced smoker. But I know when I first started smoking cigars, I didn't start off with the light cigars. I've always liked spicy things, rich, like meaty type things for taste. I love dark chocolate, like really dark chocolate, and I love pepper and spices. And so Maduros were just what I went to from the beginning because those were the tastes that I enjoyed. And I have had some cigars that have had some kind of like meaty, like red meat kind of a taste note to it, along with the pepper. And then I've had some that have like a really rich dark chocolate to it, along with the pepper. So those were the tastes that my palate already enjoyed. So going to the Maduros that are full strength it made more sense for me to do that. And I've never been sick on a cigar. I've gotten lightheaded a few times for not eating something beforehand and maybe having a Churchill that was really rich and dark. But I've never gotten sick. But I have gotten a good buzz off of a few towards the end. I've gone down to the end of the cigar, down to the nub. I've gotten a few nice little buzzes at times or something like that. But I've never gotten nauseated or thrown up or anything like that. But I guess it all depends on your palate and what you like. So I'm always going to recommend to a beginner lighter cigars, something that's more creamy, vanilla tasting. But if you feel that you can start off with a stronger cigar, then do it. See if it works for you. Because it never did affect me, I'll tell you that. And that's mainly what I smoke. Most of the time I smoke Maduros. Anything that's medium to full strength. I've had some other cigars that are maybe a Connecticut shade or lighter cigar. And it just doesn't excite me enough. So I really don't smoke, like sun-grown well, sun-growns are okay. But anything with real light wrappers, with real light tastes that are more considered mild cigars, it doesn't do anything for me. And I get kind of bored with it. So I've just learned to stick with what I really enjoy, which is, cigars like this. So, anyway, let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Last album. Let's see. Well, let me show you this album here, actually, before I go on to the other ones. This one is Kiss Alive 3. And this is the album they brought out to support the Revenge Tour. And this is a great live album. I love every song on this. I thought the production was great on this. I just thought everything about this album was great. And here's the back of it right there. And again, on this tour, they really didn't have that Kiss logo up either. They had the Statue of Liberty behind them. They really didn't have that Kiss logo up still, which is fine. The stage show was great still. I do happen to love that big Kiss logo though, and I do miss it. But their stages just got bigger and huge, and just bigger and more huge and just more elaborate. So they kind of had to do away with that Kiss logo, but everyone knows who they are. So that Kiss logo doesn't matter if you're a Kiss fan. It really doesn't. Definitely doesn't affect the music or how they perform on stage by any means. So, but let me open this up, show you the inside of it. And so here's the inside of it, which I thought was really cool. They got a timeline right there from beginning to end at the time. And then there's just some really neat photos and stuff like that. From the tour, and an old backstage pass there. And in the inside of this, it says, "When we're dead and gone, how are we remembered? Only by what we leave behind. If talk is cheap, action is worth its weight in gold and platinum. Alive 1, 2, and now Alive 3 will be our testament, our monument to us, to you, and to the invincibility of rock and roll." And then signed Gene, Bruce, Eric, and Paul. And then, of course, this also has, let's see here. I thought it had all the tour dates on here as well. Maybe not. I know in my old cassette, they had the tour dates, I thought, in here. But I'm not seeing that. But it does also mentions everyone that was involved in their production and everything, which I thought was great. They mentioned all the stage crew guys and truck drivers and everything. But great album. It's definitely, besides Kiss Alive, I'd have to say this is my second favorite Kiss Live album. Love Kiss Alive 2 because that's what got me to know who Kiss was. That's how I discovered them through a friend, was by hearing the Kiss Alive 2. So I'll always love Kiss Alive 2, but Kiss Alive 3 and Kiss Live, I thought were the best out of the three, really, that they did. And then actually, the Kiss Alive 4, there's two versions of Kiss Alive 4. There's the Millennium Edition. Well, it was on their farewell tour when they were all the original members. And it was the last live album they did with the original members. And so that was Kiss Alive 4. And then they had Kiss Alive 4, which was the first Kiss Alive 4. That was with the Australian Symphony Orchestra. It was called Kiss Symphony. And I thought that was a great album too. But of course, Tommy Thayer was on that instead of Ace Frehley, which he did great on that album, don't get me wrong. But so anyway, but Kiss Alive 3, again, that was released on May 19th, 1992 on Mercury Records. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on a second. I'm sorry, I've gone backwards here. I'm reading the Revenge information. Kiss Life 3 was released on May 1993 with Mercury Records. Recorded in Cleveland, Detroit, Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that was, let's see here. I forgot to write down who produced that. But anyway, I can't, I'm not sure who produced it. I can't remember who produced it. I didn't write that part down. I apologize. But anyway, but great live album. And then, let's see here. And then I showed this on the last podcast, the Kiss My Ass album that they brought out that had different band members doing covers of the Kiss songs. And this was, I believe, this came out in 1994, but I believe this was the very beginning of the starting of the original lineup being back together for the reunion tour in '96. I really believe this is what really kind of started it. And I did show this to you last time, but this album has the Red album in it, and this is a very rare collectible, but in the middle it's got the one guy with the Paul Stanley star on it, and then on the other side, let's see here, yeah, on the other side of this album it's got the Gene Simmons face on there with the little girl off the album cover. So but anyway, just it's got a clear red vinyl, really beautiful, and I love this album. I really do love it. I knew when this came out and when the DVD came out with all the old live footage and different things, and I knew something was brewing at the time. I had a feeling, and sure enough, I mean, it did. On the inside of this album, I'll show this to you too. It's got pictures of everyone's people that sent in pictures with their tattoos of Kiss, and so that's on the inside of the album as well. Get this put back together real quick so we can move on. Okay. Get this back in its sleeve. Okay. Oh. And this album also includes a bonus track Unholy by Die Arts? I cannot pronounce that. But some of the bands that did the cover songs on this was Deuce by Lenny Kravitz, Hard Luck Woman by Garth Brooks, Christine 16 by the Gin Blossoms, Rock and Roll All Night by Toad the West Sprocket, Calling Dr. Love, Shandy's Addiction, Going Blind Dinosaur Jr., Strutter by Extreme, Plaster Caster, the Lemonheads, Detroit Rock City by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, which I got to work with them back in Florida once, Yoshiki, Unholy, German version, Die Artsy. But anyway, so again, Kiss My Ass, and that came out in 1994. So there's that for you. And then, let's see here. Hold on a second, guys. I lost some of my paperwork here. I'll let my skeleton friend entertain you for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. And then we got to move on to what was next was with original members and Eric Singer, Bruce Kulick, but that was the Kiss Unplugged. And that was on Mercury Records, released March 12th of 1996. Recorded August 9th of 1995. Gene Paul, Ace Peter, Bruce Kulick, and Eric Singer were involved in this. Producer was Alex Coletti. And this was recorded at let's see here. The the venue, I'm sorry. Oh my God, my writing, I can't read my own writing sometimes. The venue is Sony Music studios in New York City, New York. But anyway, so this is what got the original members back together and to do the reunion tour in '96. So, and not definitely not trying to go off of the non-makeup era here, but since everyone was not in makeup and we had all the members here through the non-makeup days, had to include this album. And then the last album, let's see here. Gotta get my notes fixed here. The last album that I'm going to talk to you about is, let's see here. Gosh, my notes have gotten all screwed up here. Okay, here we go. Carnival of Souls. This is called Carnival of Souls: The Final Sessions. Right there. With Paul, Gene, Bruce Kulick, Eric Singer. Right there. And this wasn't released until after Psycho Circus came out. But this was the album that they had, the very last album they were planning on putting out before they even knew that the reunion tour was going to happen. But anyway, so this was released on October 20th, 1997. But these sessions were done before '97. And it was produced by Toby Wright and Gene and Paul. And the singles was Hey, Childhood's End, and Jungle. And they were going for the grunge sound on this album to kind of stay with the 90s, with what was going on at that time with all the other bands. It was not a successful album at all, but it is an album I like to listen to, and it has grown on me more over the years. But anyway, but it's just way different than the other Kiss albums, which I like because it's just different. That's all I can say about it. It's just really different. It's just grungy and different. It just really is. But it was a good album, though. Definitely a good album. But I guess I'd have to say, if I had the least favorite album, I guess it would be this one. But again, there's a lot of things on this that I just really like. So it's really hard to, really to determine, where I would put this in a top, 11 or top 10 or whatever, the non-makeup era album. So, but anyway, Kiss Carnival of Souls. And again, that was the last album they did without makeup. So, but anyway, so there's all the albums. Gosh, I guess I better discuss a couple things. I had one of our members. I won't mention any names, but her name's Sheila Harper. She was wanting me to talk about the hats that I wear. Well, these are Boston Scally caps, and I discovered these about a year or more ago, and they're just really comfortable hats. They're just really classy. This one's called the Pumpkinhead. It's the Halloween edition, but they're just really sturdy. This one's made out of wool and polyester, and it's even got a nice little hat pin there, the Pumpkinhead hat pin. So just really cool, but it's got the black and orange plaid, and then the front's all black. So this is the only one I got that's got that on it like that. But they're just so comfortable, and they're good for dress. They're good for every day, and they're just so sturdy. I just love them. I forget that they're on my head most of the time, but they're just classy, and they just feel much better than wearing baseball caps. The baseball caps, they start getting itchy, and they just never fit right. I've got fitted hats. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, so I'll wear my Dallas Cowboys hats during the games and stuff like that. Other than that, I really don't wear any ball caps anymore. I wear these most of the time. So I even got some work ones that I wear at work that are not Boston Scally. They're ones I got off of eBay, but they're kind of close to what these look like. But these are about $50 a piece. The hat pins are about $8 a piece. But I look for codes on the internet that gives me sometimes up to 25% off, and that's when I'll buy something. If I can get a good discount code, I'll get everything. And But they're just a great company, Boston Scally Company. They're just a great company. And their hats are great. They got all kinds of styles of hats for whatever you want. And again, they just go with dress clothes. They go with everyday clothes. I just love them. So if you guys are ever interested in hats like this, look at Boston Scally Company. I think you'll fall in love with their hats just like I have. And then the shirt I'm wearing today is from the Freedom to Rock tour, which was July 7th to September 10th of 2016. And of course, I got to see him in Cheyenne on July 29th of 2016. Great show at the time. It was a great show. And of course, that included Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer, of course, but just a great show. Anyway, I do want to say hi to my family, and thank you for all your support that you give to me. Thank you for all of you that have joined Harper Cigar Lounge. Thank you for all your support and for being here and being a part of this. And I gotta say, of course, hi to Corey, Samuel, and Jason over at Cigar Junkies. Hello, guys. Hope you guys are doing great. I can't wait to catch your next show this Sunday. If you guys haven't checked out Cigar Junkies, you gotta check them out. They're on Spotify, YouTube. They've got a Facebook group page under the Cigar Junkies. So check those guys out. They're great. Definitely subscribe to them like you have here as well. Give them a thumbs up on YouTube. Give them a like on the Facebook page. Go to Spotify, listen to them. They're on every platform pretty much. I'm working on getting more stuff on Spotify myself for this, but we're on YouTube here, of course, and on Facebook. But the Cigar Junkies, check them out on YouTube. Comment, give them a like, share them. Do the same thing on Facebook for these guys. They're hard workers. They're great guys. And so check them out. And continue to support this as well. Give me a like on YouTube. Leave your comments, your feedback. You can do that on Facebook as well, but make sure you do it on YouTube. I'm definitely trying to grow more viewers on YouTube. I've got a lot on Facebook, and you guys know who you are. And I'll read off some shout outs here before we end things. But one question I want to ask you guys is, what got you into heavy metal, hard rock? What really drove you to love this kind of music? Leave that in the comments, why you love hard rock, heavy metal, what it does for you. For me, it just gives me a boost every day. It helps me get my mind off of all the negative things in this world. It helps me cope with a lot of the negative things in this world. It's just been great therapy for me. But I love the drama of the music. I just love all the riffs. I love how upbeat it is and how hard and heavy it is. It just helps me get my frustrations out in a good, positive way. But ever since I found out who Kiss was when I was 7 years old, I've been hooked, and over the years, I've grown to love so many bands. But I just love everything. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, of course, Kiss. I love Metallica. I love, Poison, Motley Crue. Love the British metal stuff. Just a lot of different stuff I really love, and it all fits together in my book, and it just all does something different for me every time I listen to a certain band. For that day, it just puts me in a great mood, puts me in a certain mindset, and it's just great therapy for me. So. But I want to know the reason why you guys got into hard rock, heavy metal, or if you're new into this, how you found out about these bands that are out there that have been around for so long. How did you find out about these bands? Tell me in the comments what got you into this music and what it does for you. But I'll be a heavy metalhead fan until the day I die. It's just in my blood. It's in my DNA. I can't get rid of it. It's just such a huge part of my life. It just does a lot for me in my everyday life. And and of course, I was in the music field for a little while. Got to work with some of my heroes, Striper, of course, and became good friends with those guys over the years. So I've been a big part of, music's been a big part of my life. But I'd have to say my first influence really was probably watching my dad play guitar when I was a kid. He was really probably my first influence. So I was interested in guitar when I was pretty young. My dad had a lot of Fender guitars, and so I watched him play a lot and sing. But then when I discovered Peter Criss and Kiss, that was it for me. I wanted to play drums, and start singing and doing vocals and doing a lot of that, you know. So I did over time. I got involved in you know, choir in school, and went on to do some of my own music one time, which was kind of Christian blues, rock type stuff, grunge, gospel kind of stuff. But with that, of course, I never stopped loving heavy metal. But of course, I haven't done any music now for a while. I haven't been involved with music, you know, within the business for a while now. 2014 was really the last time I was around anything, and that was with Lita Ford and Striper, and got to hang out backstage with those guys, and got to get to know Lita Ford a little bit, and then got to watch a lot of great shows that day. And that was over in Sheridan, Wyoming, back in 2014. So of course they had LA Guns there that day, and Vixen, and let's see here, Cheap Trick was the main was the headliner for that whole day. Striper, of course. Trying to think of who else. Oh, Lita Ford was there, of course. So anyway, but yeah, 2014 was really the last time I got involved, or got to be around, you know, the music business. Of course, I've been managing, you know, I've been involved with grocery and retail for quite a while now. Got involved with a company called Panhandle Co-op. Stayed involved with a store called Main Street Market over the years back in Torrington, Wyoming. Then 6 years ago, they offered me the Main Street Market here in Kimball. So I've been here running this grocery store, and it's the only grocery store here in town. We got a couple dollar stores here, but we're really the only grocery store. And it's a big grocery store. It's not a little grocery store by any means. It's a big size grocery store. And we carry some shoes and shirts, and we carry a lot of groceries. We've got a deli with a kind of a cafe style area to it where they serve all kinds of stuff. Got a meat department, produce department, dairy department. We got a liquor area, which is a nice sized liquor area. And of course I carry premium cigars. So if you guys are looking for great deals on any kind of spirits, beers, or wines, or premium cigars, and you're in the Kimball, Nebraska area, come see me at Main Street Market. So definitely do that. And if you're ever passing through town and I'm available, and I got this available here, I'd be glad to have a cigar with you, definitely, and get to know you on a personal level. So anyway, so if you're ever in the Kimball area, definitely check out Harper Cigar Lounge. Look us up, and look me up at the Main Street Market grocery store in Kimball as well. But anyway, before we end things today, I want to say thank you again for being a part of all this. All of you that have been here over the past year, thank you for being here still. And all you guys that keep signing up every day, thank you for joining and being a part of this really amazing family of smokers and rockers. This is the only podcast group page on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify that is based around heavy metal, hard rock, and premium cigars. So, of course, like I've always said, music has a language of their own, cigars have a language of their own. And when you get that, music and cigars together, and people together, it just makes for a great time. And they all pair well together. Music and cigars just pair well great. And it's just really, cigars and music and people getting together and being a part of all this, it really does something for you. And it's just such an amazing community, and it just allowed me to tap into something very special that I never would have ever thought that could ever happen to me. It's just really brought me together with a lot of people, and gotten me to meet a lot of neat people in the world, and I've gotten closer to a lot of people just because of having a cigar with a drink and listening to some good music. And so that's the other thing that pairs great with cigars is, you know, spirits, wines, beers. So make sure when you're taking time for yourself to have a great cigar, make sure you get yourself a great drink with it. And coffee is even great. I love coffee with my cigars. I love rums. I love tequila once in a while. And this stuff today that I talked to you about, the peanut butter whiskey and the Old Smoky, or the, let's see here, I always forget that, yeah, the Old Smoky, moonshine with the Mountain Java. That just went really good together today with the cigar. And right now, I am getting a little more pepper again. Getting some nuts and some cedar oak. It's doing really well. It's burning with a really great even line, a great even burn line. The aromas are great still. Construction is great. It hasn't fallen apart or unraveled. That band, I just really love this band, but I'm gonna have to take it off because it's burning down close to the band now. So anyway, there's the band again. I thought that fit well for this podcast and for being close to Halloween and everything. So there it is, GURKHA Pure Evil. Really pretty cigar band. I love how it's got a hologram type of skull on that. I think that's really cool. And then anyway, I just want to make sure that I don't forget to give a shout out to all the new members. Before I get into that, right now we've got 990 members, and actually I saw we had one more join right before this podcast started today. So right now we actually had 991 members. The last podcast, which was last week on October 12th, we had 965 members. So with us having 991 members compared to the 965 last week, that brings us up to 26 new members this week. So thank you everyone for joining. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And welcome to the family. So anyway, let me shout out some new members here. Luis Marrero, Stephen Guns, Luis Fernandez, Latricia Thompson, Drew Nicastro, iStamp, Haya Lasiga Cigar, Hayella Cigar Girl, Duncan Fritz, CC, Lucio Cigar Shop, Enrico Mahjong, Patel Rocky, Nick Laramie, Mariano Rivera, The Leaf Affair Cigars, Kev Stone, Jeloni Cassie Cigars, Pooja Prince, Robert Kimber, Cigar Smoker, Habanos Cuban, and Don Pollen. Thank you guys, and I missed your guys' names. This time I'll make sure I get it next time. And I just want to remind you that next Thursday, I won't be doing my podcast. We'll be doing it the Sunday following. And again, that's maybe you've seen the YouTube advertisement I put up on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll be doing a live. Hopefully, it's going to work out. I really do. This will be the first time I ever do a live podcast. We're going to do a regular recording, then we're going to have my camera set up for live as well. But we're going to be doing it at the Wheat Growers Hotel, October 29th on a Sunday. It's going to be around noonish, Mountain Daylight Time. And I'll have the owners of this hotel with me. They're really excited about this podcast coming up. I am too. I hope you guys will be as well. But this hotel is supposedly haunted. A lady died underneath the hotel when they used to have speakeasies back in the early 1900s. And a lady was transporting some illegal alcohol from the hotel to one of the speakeasies underneath. And it caused the lady to get trapped in there and she died. And but anyway, we'll get more into that during that podcast. We'll hear more from the owners of the hotel and what they have to say and give some great stories. And it's just going to be a great time. I'll still be discussing everything I discuss. But I'll be discussing all kinds of stuff, with the music world, and I'll do some shout outs as well. But we're also going to add in some stuff about the hotel. So again, that's going to be at the Wheat Growers Hotel on Sunday, October 29th at around noon time, Mountain Daylight Time. So anyway, I hope you guys will join us. I think it's going to be a great time. I know it's going to be an experience because this will be my first live show and the first podcast show that I do outside of my lounge here. So anyway, it's going to be a great time, I think. And it'll be interesting, that's for sure. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I hope you have a great weekend coming up. I'll leave comments about how the cigar turns out. I'm going to keep smoking it down and see what happens with it. But I really do hope that you guys have a great rest of your evening, great weekend, and I sure appreciate you guys being a part of this still. And I hope you guys have had a great time today. I really do. Hope you guys have had a great smoke, great drink today, and hope you've been able to listen to some great music. I've actually been listening to the Kiss Alive 3 concert on YouTube while I've been talking to you guys. It's a great show. If you guys haven't seen Kiss Alive, the Kiss Alive 3 from the Revenge tour, make sure you go to YouTube and check that out. Great concert. But anyway, guys, again, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being a part of this. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are always in my thoughts and prayers. And you guys keep rocking, keep smoking, and keep it real. And make sure you tell all your friends and family about this group page, this podcast. Get as many people to join as possible. And just let them know about this. I think they'll have a great time with this, with these podcasts that I do, as well as going through the group page and seeing all the cigar advertisements and seeing all the music stuff I put up. Just so many great things that are on that group page. And I think you guys will enjoy that group page. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do. But anyway, for now, I'll let you go. And again, thank you guys for joining me today. You guys are the best. Without you, I wouldn't be here again. And anyway, so Troy Harper from Harper Cigar Lounge signing off. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this when this is over. I got to find a place. I got to find a home for this here. And anyway, I hope your cigar was great back there, by the way. What is he smoking anyway? He's smoking the Leather Rose. That's a great choice. So anyway, guys, we'll see you soon. We'll see you on the 29th, and I'll see you in the comments as well. I'll make sure you leave comments for me on Facebook group page Harper Cigar Lounge, and here on YouTube I'll make sure I message you back and stay in touch as well. But anyway, keep rocking, guys, and one more time, cheers. Cheers. Talk to you later. Bye-bye now.